Namaste, my name is Shailaja and I welcome you all to the Kundalini Guide YouTube channel. This is the third part in the series that I'm making on divine masculine and feminine energies. I'll post the link to the remaining parts in the description box below. Please go through those parts also for a comprehensive understanding. Today I'll be talking about the ideas we hold and how they affect us while we are dealing with the opposite gender, that is in relationships, and how this can either help us progress or digress from the spiritual path. We all are born on earth to experience life. We experience life either being born in a woman's body or in a man's body. Now, a human can experience a wide range of emotions, a wide range of thoughts, beliefs, and behavioral patterns. And this can be within the framework of the family and societal patterns, or this can be beyond those patterns. So some stick and to the family rules, to the societal rules, and some break those rules. So this largely depends on the kind of experiences the soul needs for its evolution, its karmic residue, its past life experiences, its fears, issues, and then the family issues, the many things that go into defining how a person will uh, behave with the opposite gender. The thinking faculty we use is the mind, and the mind expresses itself through language in the form of thoughts, and these thoughts define our reality, the quality of a reality. We understand and analyze the external world through our thoughts, and we relate to the external world, or we express ourselves to the external world through these thoughts. So, this is the medium through which we define ourselves, we understand ourselves, and we analyze the external reality, and we communicate or exchange energy or interaction with the external reality. Now, when a thought gets repeated over a number of times, it becomes a belief. For example, if you tell yourself that you're a good person, if you tell yourself many times over and over again, if you tell yourself you're a good person, you will believe that you're a good person. And automatically your actions towards others will be of good intention or good motive. In the today's world, most people operate from the lower egoic level. And the lower egoic level, the person experiences more division between himself and the external world. The ego is very high, and the ego constantly needs to assert itself. It needs to constantly show dominance over other person. So when the predominantly the world is operating from this kind of an attitude, the dominant energy that is there is fear-based energy, and this energy expresses itself in various other emotions like anger, or pain, or it can get expressed as envy, greed, or as abuse. So the fear that is held at the collective level, at the family level, at the personal level, gets expressed as negative thoughts. And typically fear based thoughts, the motives behind these thoughts is to dominate others, to exploit others, to abuse others. So when somebody is thinking from a fear-based pattern, he is not thinking as a well-wisher to another person. He is actually thinking of benefiting himself or benefiting herself at the cost of others. So here the concern for the other person's health, physical health, emotional well-being or mental well-being is not given priority. Rather, the person is just used and abused. When at the collective level or family level or at the personal level, the inner moral compass that discriminates or gives a power of discretion to choose between the rightful thoughts and the wrong thoughts is generally not working or is absent or is not well developed, people generally operate from the fear mode. And because they are operating from the fear mode, their thoughts will be negative in nature. The belief systems they hold will be of competitive inequality. That is, I am better than the other person, or I am not as good as the other person. Such lower egoic belief systems generate lower egoic actions, where the person doing the action is acting out of his own selfish interest, and his contribution to others' well-being is minimal or it is non-existent. So this typically creates the scenario where there is a perpetrator who is uh, acting out of fear and is trying to abuse or exploit another person, and there is the victim, one who's getting exploited or used. And then there's this third dynamic, which is the rescuer. The rescuer is the one who sees this happening and he feels the pain of the victim, and he too is angered. So in society, we are seeing this theme playing out very often in our society. So the perpetrators, the victims, and the rescuers, all three are caught up in the lower egoic mind, or the anger that is experienced or the fear that is experienced from a lower egoic brain centers. So in this way, we are, because of our lower egoic thoughts, creating an external situation which is even keeping us and others in the lower egoic states. The society or the family culture or the person should evolve from this lower egoic level to a value based thinking system. A value based thinking system which is based on humanitarian values. The discretion is higher here in the sense of right and wrong is strong. So the person knows what is right and what is wrong exactly. And they're more responsible in the thoughts they entertain in their mind and the actions they release into the external world. And because their actions and thoughts are based on values, it will only impact themselves and others in a positive way. So that is why when your thoughts are based on values, say values like peace, equality, harmony, respect, non-violence, all such values generate very positive and loving thoughts. Thoughts where there is no little to no division between you and the other person. Such thoughts, no matter how many times you repeat them, they do not become a belief system, because belief system comes out of an ego, whereas a value system comes from a higher level of thinking. So such thoughts immediately become actions. You don't need an intermediary belief system here to convert your thought into an action, because they emanate from a value system. And value systems are not created because we keep on repeating a thought. Value systems are universal truths, and they are emanating, and they have a divine energy to them. So these are not belief systems. When a thought keeps on getting repeated in our mind 10 times, we keep on memorizing it or repeating it, it becomes a belief. But here, you're acting without thought. When you're acting from a value based system, you need not think, you are just doing what is right. So, inner value system immediately generates an external right action. And because you're acting right, your actions are impacting you and others around you in a very positive way and uplifting manner. So you're not generating a painful scenario in the external world or within yourself. So the intentions and the action which find its roots in the lower egoic drive, they create further karma for us and they keep us tied into this matrix or maya. So what happens here is the person who is doing the wrong deed has to in future experience the same pain which he has inflicted on others, be getting inflicted on himself. So the victim becomes a perpetrator. The perpetrator again can become the victim. How the victim can become the rescuer becomes the perpetrator. So this drama keeps on going on. We are caught in this loop. And this goes on lifetime after lifetime till we are able to transcend the lower egoic nature that is there within us. Until this drama keeps on repeating itself in our life in various forms. But once somebody has come out of this lower egoic center and they start living from a value based system, they do something because it is the right thing to do. They are no longer bound by the consequences or the fruits of their actions. This is called nishkama karma. That means this person has given up the interest or desire to enjoy the fruits of his actions, whether good or bad. He is only doing something because it is the right thing to do. He is dispassionate. He is unattached to the outcome of his actions. And all his actions, intentions, and motives are aimed at doing good at large to the society. So when a person comes into the higher brain, he is able to access the higher brain centers. This is how he changes. And once he comes into this kind of a value based system, he is no longer bound by his actions. And because of that, his actions only do good or cause good to people at large in the society, and they do not bind him or others into this illusion. Because of that, he comes out of this illusion. It transcends the cycles of life and death. Today, we live in a male dominated society, a patriarch society across many cultures, religions, uh, ethnicities. You typically see a male dominated society. And the male dominated society, there are a lot of thoughts that emanate from a fear, the need to control, the need to exert power, the need to subjugate the woman. So these kind of thoughts, they create a false belief construct where a woman is inferior to man. There's recently been a rise in the feminine, but it will still take time for it to impact us uh, at a higher level. But until then, this game of separation where one gender is seen inferior to another keeps the play of victim and perpetrator going on. I'm not saying that it's always the woman who is the victim, but in some cases, the woman becomes a perpetrator and the man becomes a victim. Because these ideas where a man versus woman is based on competition. So, where one gender is benefiting at the cost of the interests of the other gender. When a man and woman collaborate, they create heaven on earth. When they are in competition with each other, they create hell on earth. So, how does this competition start? It starts with the wrong ideas that we hold, where a man thinks that the woman is just a producer of kids and she is the one who cooks and cleans as a maid. And the woman sees the man as a money provider and she does not care for his well being. So she's have content as long as he is giving her the basics or giving her the luxuries that she needs. So typically, these kind of attitudes, the man and woman are seeking to exploit each other. They don't care for each other's well-being, and this has a very negative impact on their body and mind. As I said earlier, the nadis that run along her spine, the Ida nadis are inner feminine energy, and the Pingala nadis are inner masculine energy. So the when a man disrespects a woman or sees a woman as inferior to him, he is disrespecting or disregarding the left side of his body because the left side of his body is his feminine side. And if when a woman disregards or disrespects a man, she is typically disregarding her right side of the body. For a body to be healthy, the breathing should be done correctly. That is, there's this breathing pattern that happens unconsciously. We breathe 90 minutes from the left side and 90 minutes from the right side. And this breathing keeps alternating throughout the day and night. When person holds wrong ideas, a wrong belief system, what happens is they unnecessarily expose themselves to lower egoic emotions, because when you hold wrong ideas, when you hold wrong belief constructs, then the way you relate to the opposite gender always creates a drama or creates a negative emotion. When the person sees a woman as inferior, his intention is only to control and use her. And when she refuses, when she fights back, it creates a drama or creates, the lower emotions get triggered. So in that way, the man and woman are keeping each other in the same lower egoic drama and the lower egoic level itself, without rising up in the relationship. So they will be never be able to form a mutually benefiting relationship this way. And once you see the other gender as being inferior or superior to you, you're creating an imbalance in between the right side and the left side of your body that leads to physical and mental and emotional problems. So, the right thing to do here is to start seeing the opposite gender as equal. Men and women are different, their capabilities and abilities are different, but in essence, they are equals. What a man can do, a woman cannot, and what a woman can do, a man cannot. So, we have to understand and respect the abilities and respect what the opposite gender gets into our life. Once a person starts operating from an inner value system equality, they transcend the duality that is there in the Swadhisthana chakra. In the same way, they will transcend the other dualities which are present in the other chakras, so that the Ida and Pingala can flow freely from the base of the spine to the Agya chakra. And when this happens, the masculine and feminine energies merge here at the third eye chakra. Then the breathing pattern changes. Now the person starts breathing equal amounts of air from both the nostrils simultaneously. So he'll be using both the nostrils simultaneously for breathing in and breathing out. So this creates a balance between the left side and the right side of the body. And with this balance, the person attains a level of very good health, physical health, and a deep peace and deep serenity. And he is able to access the higher wisdoms too, intuition, and he is able to access, because of his integration of the inner masculine and inner feminine energies, he is able to access the higher brain centers. So all this starts with respecting and integrating a woman into your life if you are a man, and respecting and integrating a man into your life in a healthy way if you are a woman. So, how we see and how we relate to the opposite gender in the external world and how you deal with them, it defines and decides your spiritual growth at the personal level, because the way you treat a woman outside is the way your Ida Nadi will function within the body. And if you're a woman, and the way you treat a man will determine the way the Pingala Nadi will function in your body. And both these Nadis should function healthily for a spiritual awakening. In our bodies at the family level, you will have the Ida Nadi that represents the mother, the dominant female figure in your life. She represents the moon, and as per astrology, and she is the Ida Nadi in your body. And the father, he is represented by sun in astrology, and he is as his bloodline is in the form of Pingala Nadi in your body. So while you're transcending the channels, while your energy is flowing to the Ida and Pingala Nadis, you are even clearing away part of the karmic baggage of your family. The negative dysfunctional ideas the family held, which were of lower egoic quality in nature. So when it comes to Swadhisthana Chakra, all those ideas which were held with regarding to gender relationships, everything gets cleaned away When you are able to uh, operate and live from a value based system, you are correcting all those wrongful ideas that are held within your DNA. Our parents are affected by their own inner imbalanced energies. Most people do not have the blessing of having a matured parent. A person, while not being mature enough to raise a kid, still gets married because he is of the age of marriage and has kids. And he's not, he lacks the inherent uh, spiritual base to become a good father or a good mother for the child. Kids who are brought up in difficult homes where there is a dysfunctional mother or dysfunctional father have additional burden, emotional burden to deal with. If a person had a narcissistic or a dysfunctional mother, then they would experience typically abandonment issues, trust issues, survival issues, the fear that the basic needs will not be met. And if they had an abusive father, they would feel the self worth issues, insecurity issues. So all these things crop up when they have an abusive father. And apart from that, the fear of getting physically abused, mentally, verbally abused, all these things, they have a major impact on the child. And when this child becomes an adult and he gets into relationships, that is when all these fears, all these childhood issues come into play. So, in a relationship, everything that is there within our subconscious mind comes out and plays in front of us. The dysfunctional behavioral patterns of our ancestors, the wrong programming, the parents, their wrong programming, and our own issues, which we have experienced as a child, our karmic residues, our past life experiences, all these things come into play when we get married or get into a relationship. And the same happens with a partner. So we are projecting a lot onto each other. So until unless we heal ourselves from all our issues, our family issues, and balance the energies within ourselves, we will be not be able to attract a correct partner for ourselves from the external world. Because when you are in low vibration, you will attract a low karmic partner. But when you resolve all those issues that are there within your system, and when you increase your vibration, you will attract a partner who's of higher vibration. Or if your current partner is not of high vibration, then the current partner will follow you from your life. Or the current partner might also learn from you and grow along with you to become your soulmate. At the family level, a normal person always holds his birth parents in high regard and high esteem because they are his origin or her origin. In the same way, the societal level, we give that kind of respect, or maybe more respect than that, to the female archetypes and the male archetypes, or the gods and the goddesses, or the saints or the prophets, because you see them as a mother figure and a father figure. So, at societal level, also, you need both of these figures. Most societies do not have a mother figure, a strong mother figure as a goddess or as an archetype. If they are not present as a goddess, they will be present as an archetype form of a mother. So these figures play a very important role in balancing our own inner energies because we derive a lot of our own energy from these higher archetypal energies or from the higher divine energies. So that balance has to seep down, it has to come into the family level where it balances our own inner parental energies, our DNA's programming that has happened at the ancestral level, the narcissistic programming, or the psychopathic, sociopathic, or the wrong programming that has happened at the family level. And then these energies have to come down further to correct the behaviors or the thoughts or the attitudes that we hold within our own personal system. So all this starts with a thought, and the thought should be a thought that changes your life for betterment and others' life for betterment. So instead of living from a ego based belief structure, if you're on the spiritual path, it is always advisable for you to move into a more value based thinking system. That way, you will progress faster on the spiritual path. Balancing our own inner masculine and feminine energies is not an easy task. But the effort that is put into this hard work is really worth it because we grow as person, and then we balance and create harmony within ourselves, and this harmony gets reflected in our external situations also. Once you have created harmony between your inner masculine and feminine energies, the same harmony gets reflected in your external reality too. I wish you all good luck on this path. Thank you.